We're California dreaming for the fourth round of 22 on the Outlaws Sim Series Gunman Truck schedule. 97 laps on the docket around the 2-mile SoCal Superhighway, just 40 miles east of LA. We put NASCAR trucks to the task of the bad, fast, flat, D-shaped oval of the virtual Auto Club Speedway. Welcome to the virtual Fontana, California. Devin Zimmerman joins me on the call tonight, and Jacob Zala is on our social media coverage this evening. And wow, we're getting things done here in the Golden State with our 194-mile event. Today is another Super Wednesday for PitStop TV. On the other side of the nation, our second crew is handling the IORL Kentucky production, which went live about 10 minutes earlier than us, as they have the penultimate round of the IndyCar season, with Trey Shuttlesworth, Eric Brennan, João Paulo Costa, and Vincent Cortez holding down the fort in the virtual Bluegrass State. And well, back to the West Coast, Devin. A fun event with it being 97 laps. The fuel mileage game is ever more achievable. How do you see tonight's race playing out?
Interesting course here at Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. 2 miles, pretty much wide open the whole time. It's going to be who can manage their tires and who can save the most fuel for who's going to win this race. And last season, you know, it came down to that in this series, and it pretty well could come down to that again. We look at the track map here. We have 2 miles, 3.22 kilometers, 14 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2, 14 degrees of banking in 3 and 4 as well, 11 degrees on the front stretch, and 3 degrees down the back straightaway. The front stretch is not straight. It has the tri-oval. It's a D shape, like you said, Emerson. It is very fast, very fun, pretty much wide open. We're going to see some very close racing, a lot of side-by-side. There's multiple groove here, even though it is flat. So we will see some great racing tonight, Emerson.
Absolutely, and couple that with the standings coming into today, and Greg Holt has extended his point lead at the top of the standings, but by only a few after that very dominant performance last week at the Homestead Miami Speedway, but not getting that checkered flag. He only has a 5-point lead over Joseph Causey, and behind him, Jeremiah Stutzman. They're in third at the bottom of the podium with his one win. He's coming into today's race with the win on his side, and the last time he came to this facility, he also won. Back in the first season of the Outlaws Sim Series and the Xfinity Series cars and the fixed setup, Jeremiah Stutzman, the strategist himself, with momentum on his side, could be very dangerous in that third position. Seth Fitzpatrick, a stellar start to the season for him. Can he keep up his top 5 streak today here at the Auto Club Speedway? He's gone 3 for 3 for top 5 so far. Seth Fitzpatrick, another driver to watch out for. And Seth Berger, last season's champion, the winner at Rockingham a couple weeks ago. They're in 5th in points. A little bit of a drop, but we'll find a tie for the 6th position. Cody Vreeland, who was involved in a late race accident at the Homestead Miami Speedway last Wednesday night. Kevin Thompson there in 7th. Devin Smith, Daytona winner Jason Miz there in the 9th position, 48 points back of our point leader, and tied with 10th place Theron Elam Jr. But Devin, let's look at the second half.
Yes, sir, and it is still very close here on the bubble. 3 races in, and we are still neck and neck for who's going to make the playoff. We have the 2 Joshes. Joshua Balliet there in 11th, Joshua Landfox in 12th, 55 points behind Greg Holt and 61 points behind Greg Holt, respectively. Tied there in 13th with Joshua Landfox is Tyler Markle. He is also 61 points back, 2 points ahead of the cutoff, where there is Mickey in the 69 truck. He is 14th, 2 points out of a playoff spot. Then we drop back 3 points behind him, and 5 points out of a playoff spot is Andrew Pratt. The McLuhan is there, 3 points behind him, and 8 points out of a playoff spot. In 16th, and then 17th is Matthew Setzer, 69. He's tied with 69 points back from Greg Holt and 8 points behind a playoff spot. Gilliard there in 18th. He is 71 points back behind our leader Greg Holt, 10 points out of a playoff spot. And then Brad Bothwell is 11 points out of a playoff spot in 19th place, 72 points back from Greg Holt. And finally in 20th is Barnett. He is 75 points back from our leader Greg Holt and 14 points out of a playoff spot.
Been an up and down start to the season for Brad Bothwell there in the 19th position, our 2-time pole winner. If you were checking out the PitStop TV social medias a little bit earlier, just over 90 minutes ago, we had last week's Pratt, Tile, and Stone pole lap we posted the onboard there of the 31 of Brad Bothwell and how he tackled the Homestead Miami Speedway when it came down to crunch time and qualifying. Check out all of our PitStop TV social medias at facebook.com with /PitStop TV, our Instagram at pit_stop_, our Twitter at PitStop TV, our YouTube channel, of course, where we have not only the Outlaws Sim Series here at Auto Club and the IORL penultimate round of the season at the Kentucky Speedway over there. We're in the Legacy version, by the way. That should be a very fun event as well. Again, Eric Brennan, JP Costa on commentary over there. Great shoulders work. Social media, and Vincent, their social media. Just wanted to shout out our social media coverage this week. Taking a huge step up with, of course, Andrew Cardinale at the helm. Great shuttle tour and I busy through this week, getting a lot of posts out. Andrew, Trey, and I been very busy with the social media pages. So it'd be very nice if you at least go and just take a look at them and see, what's there. Even if it's for other series, just go ahead and interact. And a lot of very fun stuff. We had Overtaken a week earlier this week. We have race recaps coming up, paint scheme of the week. A lot more fun stuff on our coverage. But Devin, take a look at the schedule, what we've gone through so far, and what's coming up. Started with Daytona and Jason Miz, Rockingham, and Seth Berger coming pretty much out of nowhere. But that was really the first race of the season where we were going to see maybe some normality, or so I thought, on this season. We've been seeing Christian Converse and Greg Hull and pretty much all of the performance sim sport guys show a lot of speed. Of course, Jason Miz won Daytona, but a lot of speed was shown at Rockingham and to no avail there. And at Homestead, Greg Hull dominated, but a late race restart. Jeremiah Stutzman, granted, he's in that Discord, he doesn't really associate with them as a team. Jeremiah Stutzman took the win there at Homestead Miami Speedway. Auto Club, I mean, who knows? I've seen them all practice together. We see Christian Converse third on the charts. Kazi there in fifth, and Holt somewhere in the top 10 as well. If they can maybe right their wrongs over the past 2 weeks tonight here at Auto Club. The sky actually right now, the sun is setting. We might be falling into nighttime before too long here. But carrying on to the schedule, of course, we have Phoenix, Las Vegas, and then we're going to sling some mud at the Bristol Dirt, and we take it to the paper clip at Martinsville, Watkins Glen, the hilly upstate New York road course, New Hampshire, the flat Magic Mile, and the tricky Triangle Pocono. Take us to the halfway point of the season, Devin.
That's right, and then we're going to tackle the Monster Mile at Dover. Will be the 12th race of the season. 13th race of the season is Charlotte Motor Speedway. Then we go on to Gateway for the 14th race of the season. 15th is we're going back short tracking at the 7/8 mile Iowa Speedway. And then we'll go to Kansas, where we're going to be wall riding in the 16th race of the season. Actually, you can get around the bottom now that they updated the track there, so that'll be interesting with the multi-groove. 17th race of the season is Kentucky. 18th, Texas. And we get into the playoffs here with Kansas and Kentucky and Texas. And then we're going to the Roval. And this is where it gets interesting. At the end of the season, we're going to tackle the road course at Charlotte. And then we're going to move to the Super Speedway at Talladega, a short track of Bristol, and then finally closing it out at the 1.5 mile Atlanta Motor Speedway for the 22nd race of the season and the championship race.
And it's so fitting that the current iteration of Atlanta Motor Speedway is the season finale. I was going through YouTube earlier today, and I've been seeing that they are live streaming the reprofile of the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It is, it's something. It's bittersweet, if you will. Very excited for the reprofile, but of course we'll see. But of course, the current version of Atlanta Motor Speedway will live on in iRacing in a legacy form or whatever when it does eventually get changed. But again, that's our schedule for the Outlaws Sim Series and how what we've gone through so far, what we got coming up, and what's way up the road for that title hunt in the standings as well. A lot to go here, only in the 4th round of the season. But we'll be right back. We're gonna step aside. The far side, we'll have some pre-race interviews and a special guest on the far side as well, pertaining to the Auto Club Speedway and the Outlaws Sim. Stick around, you won't want to miss that.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Auto Club Speedway. We're here for round 4 of 22 on the Outlaws Sim Series, Gunman Truck Series calendar, and the Auto Club Speedway. Again, a very fitting track. And we had a lot happen last season. Jacob Zala, you remember that name, going us in the booth for a lot of the second half of last season. Dominated last season's race, only to be undermined by Jeremiah Stutzman and the strategy. Couple of names to find as we continue on with our pre-race show. But before we get too far, I want to shout out some of our partners here at PitStop TV, like Tucson Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image that you want, and we will custom create a beautifully framed, high-quality canvas of a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional info and use promo code PitStop TV at checkout and receive 10% off of your purchase. Ever wish you could have a race engineer on speed dial? Well, now you can, thanks to RacePace, a driver development service and setup shop all in one. Work with Tyler, a real-world race engineer, to step up your game before your next race. Pick up pace with RacePace. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. And at Permanent Makeup in Cryo in Maine, the owner, Ashley Boyer, is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. They have locations up in Auburn, Lewiston, Naples, and Saco, Maine. You can contact Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com, or you can call or text them at 207-358-8683. Whiplash Media specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing camera packs, and more. Official graphic and camera provider here at PitStop TV. Grab your official Whiplash Media iBroadcast cameras today at www.pitstoptv.com. And remember that website link. I'll come back to that in a second. We got to shout out our friends at BAM Racing Videos. By a race fan for the racing community. Of course, PitStopTV.com, you'll notice there that we are bringing the Cars Esports Tour, and I guess that'll kind of give us a segue to our upcoming broadcast. Before we get too far along, tomorrow night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, we have the North American Racing League in their second race on the season. It's amazing to have GT3 cars back on the channel. I will be on the call there with JP Gosse in production as well. A fun night calling GT3 cars at one of the most iconic American road racing facilities in the nation. Then the Cars Esports Tour kicks off their season next Wednesday night. North's taking an off week this upcoming week, but Cars Tour will kick off 7 p.m. Eastern time at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. That'll be a blast to the channel. Want to check out more information on the Cars Esports Tour? Go to www.pitstoptv.com/Cars Esports Tour. Entries are open to all Cars Tour competitors as well as other short track stars and iRacers. Cars Esports Tour races will be held on Wednesdays, with practice opening up at 6 p.m. Eastern. Of course, broadcasts going live 1 hour after that. But again, www.pitstoptv.com/Cars Esports Tour for more info. Our own Joshua Balliet from this series will be competing in the Cars Esports Tour, that late model series. He loves the short tracks. He'll be looking to rival some of the short track heavyweights in the Cars Esports Tour. That'll be a lot of fun to watch and check in on. And of course, next Wednesday night, we have the Outlaws Sim Series at the Phoenix Raceway, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm looking at the practice charts here, and I see a name that I'm very, very glad is back. And of course, Max Service, a driver, a true friend to me, and a friend to many in the series, and maybe many of you who are watching. Max Service, of course, spent, I think, over a week in the hospital at this point, or close to a week in the hospital. I'm glad that he's out and he's recovering well from his procedure he had done last weekend. He still has a long recovery process to go, but he is out of the hospital. He's well. So glad to see back in action tonight here, the Outlaw Sim Series. He's running 6th on the practice charts right now. Devin, what do you think about having Max back?
Racetrack. We did have him back finally. We have our own race team, and he was back with us on Sunday night, and it was great to hear his voice. Great to hear that he's doing better. It did get a little bit scary there for us, and yeah, having him back, it's just so nice, especially for the Outlaw Series. I know a lot of guys driving these trucks tonight. They're so glad to have him back. They like racing with Max. He's an all-around good guy, and another guy that they are probably going to be surprised to have back, at least in the broadcast, is Jacob Zala. He's here with us. He dominated the race last season, and I just wanted to get his take on what he thinks about Auto Club and what he expects for tonight. So, Jacob, glad to have you back with us. Go ahead and just let us know, what you think about Auto Club Speedway and the race tonight.
Well, as you know, I did dominate Auto Club last season, and I do love this track. But unfortunately, though, this will probably be the last time we see Auto Club in this configuration. As some of you guys may know, this track will be turned into a short track at some point in the upcoming years. I believe it's 2022 or 2023, one of the two. It's a fun track. I love this track, and I don't think there's anything more I can say about that.
Yeah, it is going to be turned into a short track. I think they're doing it on the back straightaway. Part of the back straightaway is going to end up being part of the new track. And, big changes coming for Auto Club and big changes coming for the drivers tonight, with probably our first real good chance to see how these teams cope with changing conditions. We had two night races and one daytime race already in this series, and this is the first one where we're really going to get to see changes, where we're changing from daytime into nighttime right as the race gets started. So these guys, when they have that qualifying setup, is going to be different. The front race setup is going to be different. The end race, who are you expecting to see cope with that the best tonight, Jacob?
Well, I think there's only one name that I can say that I think will cope with this, and he was the winner of last week's Homestead Miami race, and this guy beat me personally at this track, and that is the 71 of Jeremiah Stutzman. Stutzman played a great strategy call. He's always got strategy in mind, and I think Jeremiah Stutzman at some point will rock the house tonight again.
Yeah, he's going to be a good one to pick for tonight and to look out for. He does do really well with saving fuel. And Jacob, before we let you go, man, again, it's so nice to have you back in the booth. And I just got to say, I want to get your opinion on, what you think overall about the series and what you've seen so far. I know you've been watching. Just kind of give us what your take on the season so far and what you are looking forward to coming in the future.
This series is great. I've always loved this series. Like I said, I've been a broadcaster. I wanted to thank Emerson and Adam for that. But upcoming in the future, I'm looking forward to one of my personal favorite tracks on the schedule. It's later in the season, but it's Iowa. I do love the corn track. As they say, Iowa is a great track, and I'm excited for that. And like you said, I have been watching everyone, and it's just been really clean and not a couple incidents here or there, but I mean, those are just accidents, and it's been really clean.
That it has, and it's been some very, very good racing all around the field from back to front. And again, it's so nice to have you back, Jacob, even if it's just for an interview. Um, so nice to have you back, and you're taking care of us on socials tonight, so we appreciate that. But thank you again, and we'll let you get back to writing those posts and keeping all of our fans updated on the social media side of the house.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep, and that was Jacob Zala, everyone. It was so nice to have him back. So glad he was able to get up in the interview booth with us. And I'm going to pass it now to Emerson. Emerson, who are you watching out on the track tonight?
Well, I want to bring up a driver, of course. He had a huge. He can back out on the track in Max Serve. I know Drake and I commend you out here for Outlaws Sim. Have to do side to any Max brings it here to Auto Club.
I'm here for fun. I'm gonna try and run the full season. Obviously, I've missed 2 races so far, but I should be good after this to go and run full time as I can. So I think I'm still eligible for playoffs if I get a win at some point. So we're gonna have to break that drought. But yeah, just for fun.
Well, we'll get to that in a second about the drought. But with your recovery, and challenges have I mean, race on Sunday night that was at league race. What are the challenges of?
It's a little painful to sit, but Sunday night was a lot more challenging. It got really painful about halfway into that race, but here it's not too bad. I've had a pretty easy time through practice, and it's just a matter of time and painkillers to the right time.
Fair enough. Now you talk about the streak on at this point nearly an entire length, 36. I think we're at 36 next week. If you can't break that tonight, but I'm all over the place. It's a joke, I guess, when we joke to you about that. But I mean, to you, what is gonna have to happen for you to break through? Get really off your shoulder. 5 last season.
Well, this season it's going to take figuring out how to make a setup because I'm still really, really new to this. And this setup, Adam gave me a baseline to work from, and I've made a lot of tweaks to it, and I think it's okay, but I don't think it's winning quality. But it's gonna take a lot of work with the setup and really, really learning things because I guess I've got put in charge of that at Burnt Rubber Racing because I seem to be the one who knows what I'm doing a little bit. But it just all has to come together to make it work, and I have to don't do my signature thing of driving straight off into a wall in like turn 1. But we'll see if we can get a win. I'm gonna try, but no guarantees.
Fair enough. Now, but let's talk about the track tonight in these trucks. Of course, we ran here last season. IndyCar, a lot different, but all strategy kind of undermined pure speed last season. You were up there as well, contending for the lead laps last season. Oh, exactly. But I know you were up there battling with Jacob Sala. So his dominant performance was undermined by strategy. What did you learn from maybe last season? That race strategy you can attempt with it being especially a 97 lap race.
Maybe pay attention to how long a fuel run is, because didn't do that last season. And if I recall, in a preseason race here in the trucks, that same thing happened where people stretched it on fuel, and well, instead of finishing first or second in that race, I ended up like 5th. But yeah, just paying attention and maybe doing a long run in practice, which I mean I haven't done, but we're just gonna hope for the best and just hope strategy doesn't come into play, because I'm definitely not prepared for that.
At the moment, 33 entries in this session. Going through your mind as you're getting ready to tackle a 2-mile, big, wide, fast racetrack with 32 other competitors.
Just keep it clean, really. It's just a matter of keeping the truck in one piece and having something there at the end. I mean, you got a shot regardless, but I think it's going to be really tough to go and beat the Performance Sim Sport guys. Obviously, they know what they're doing a lot more than I do, but we're just gonna try and run solid in the hopefully top 10. But I don't know. We'll see. I don't really know how good the setup is, and I guess we're gonna find out probably 20 laps into this thing.
Absolutely, Max. Well, we're here to shout out whoever you got to shout out. Thank you. Got to thank for getting you back to the track and getting you in a position to compete.
First off, I gotta thank Burnt Rubber Racing for making this fast Chevy Swifterado, and then I gotta thank my grandparents for letting them use their Wi-Fi right now, as currently do not have a house to do this from, and I think that's it on the list.
Right on, Max. We're going to leave you to it as practice is now. We'll let you get in your mindset to qualify and race. Best luck to you.
Thank you.
Right on, and we're going to take a quick break here. We're going to step aside real quick. Right back on the far side with coverage of our qualification trials here from the Auto Club Speedway. Round number 4 of 22 on the Outlaws Sim Series schedule. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of two products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Auto Club Speedway. Qualifying is underway as Matthew Setzer will post the first time in qualifying. It'll put him top of the charts and currently holding that spot right now. We'll kind of take a look around and see drivers who are getting up to speed, and we'll catch up with a new driver to the series, or at least a new driver to me, because I don't really recognize his name. Joe Wooer in the 28. My apologies there, by the way, if I butcher the pronunciation, but Joe Wooer in this 28 car, making an Outlaws Sim Series debut, was very fast in practice, and he's gone top of the charts.
Yeah, great lap from him there. Another one that we're going to have to look out for who hasn't come out here is our two-time in a row pole sitter of Brad Bothwell. Matthew Setzer puts it up top again, taking off about a second from his original time. We'll see if Joe Wooer will be, I'm sorry again, Joe, but we'll get the correct pronunciation as we go here. But let's see if he can put in another lap. It looks like he has. He's on his third lap now. But another Poole to the chop, Jeremy Poole. That's a name we haven't mentioned often when it comes to, and of course we were back to the top there, but Jeremy Poole up there, that's not a name that we see often at the top of the list in qualifying.
Yeah, Brad Bothwell has now put it top of the charts. We saw Christian Converse have a lot of speed with him in practice as well, so be that along. qualifying as Christian Converse works his way through the far side of 3 and 4 now, and Christian Converse to the line right up against that outside wall, trying to get it all he can out at number 19, Tundra, into the line. Converse will place that 19, 11th quick. Like he'll put all his eggs into the basket for the next lap. James Gilliard goes third quick as Balliet goes 10th. Evan Smith has slapped that 95 and 4th. And let's catch up with Cody Vreeland, driver who, again, in the top 5, top 10 a lot. I think got second at Rockingham a couple weeks ago. Cody Vreeland, of course, involved in that late race accident at Homestead that kind of turned that race upside down. Vreeland trying to get a little bit of redemption here at Auto Club.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. A lot of these drivers, you see them running high on their first lap. That's to get as much speed as you can out of the truck. Again, Cody's in the wall there. We just saw that. Unfortunate for him. That's going to kill his qualifying run. But you see them running up to the wall in the first lap. That's to build up as much speed as they can because it is wide open all the way around this track, even if you are on the bottom for the most part. So they want to get as much speed in the truck as they can. Second lap, take it down to the bottom, get as low as you can. Maybe not too low to the apron, but pretty low. And we're going to see Converse do that now, getting it all the way down right to the white line, hug it all the way around turn 4. Hopefully it doesn't get loose on you getting off the turn. If you got the good setup, he does. He's going to drive it down onto the apron down the front stretch, which you can do here. And he goes to third. He stays in third, I think.
Stay in third. Converse, I saw him lose a lot of speed coming off of turn number 4 there. So unfortunately, I think that might do it at his lap in the qualifying time there. How about it? Last week's winner at the Homestead Racing Speedway and last season's Auto Club winner, Jeremiah Stutzman, takes to the track.
Yeah, looks like he's on a fast lap here, taken to the bottom. Gonna get some speed, gets all the way up to the wall. That's what you want to see. You don't want to kind of be in the middle of the track. You want to be all the way up to the wall, bring it back down. That's how you know you got the most speed out of the corner. P18 on his first lap there.
Oh, big moment of loose right there in the center corner. He's going to abort that lap.
Yeah, run it high. My suggestion would be to run it high in 3 and 4, pick up as much speed as you can. Go for it all. In lap 3, keep your foot in it. Hopefully it sticks.
On board with now last season's champion and Rockingham race winner, Seth Berger, in his number 77 Chevrolet Swift Dorado, as the Legacy Swift boys will say. Seth Berger keeping his Chevy Silverado up along that outside wall on his first time to lap. We'll see what he does for lap number 2. He'll dive it down off that top side, carrying well over 180 miles per hour in a truck.
Yeah, he is letting it all hang out. He's going to get down in turn 1. When you're getting off these turns, because they're so flat, the truck does want to spin on you. That back end wants to get loose. That means it wants to step out and go pretty much back into the wall. So that's what you got to prevent here. You want to keep it off the wall at all possible. We saw that with Cody Vreeland, unfortunately, him hitting the wall, and that's going to kill your lap if you do that. Now we're riding along with Jeremiah Stutzman again.
Yeah, Stutzman working his way through 1 and 2, and I believe done with qualifying. He is newcomer to the scene, Julio Villalobos. You might know that name if you're an avid PitStop TV fan. Julio Villalobos, he's no longer on the track, but he has slotted himself into the top 10 at number 45, most likely Toyota Tundra. For Julio Villalobos, he is an MSRA Truck Series competitor and a very impressive one at that. He's shown a lot of speed in the MSRA Truck Series. They're currently on their month-long vacation as they follow the real NASCAR Gander Outdoor Truck Series schedule. Decided to come over here and run a couple Outlaws Sim Series races in his number 45 Toyota truck. We'll continue to watch now. Last season's champion, Seth Berger, continue to rock that number 77 Liftworks Incorporated Chevrolet Silverado across the line, and Berger will stay in the 5th position. He did not improve there, and Elam is on his 3rd lap, and he's blown a motor.
Yeah, I believe he hit the wall off too. It probably got loose on him, and he just took it into the wall.
Big moment for Farron Elam. We're gonna get a replay here. See what happened to driver of the number 98. Big moment There's the replay, just loosen. Oh no, bam.
Yeah, exactly what I thought. Getting loose off of 2. Same thing can happen off of 4. These turns are very, very similar. Very long, very wide, but very flat and get very loose when you're trying to run fast and low. So yeah, that back end steps out on him. He goes into the wall. That's going to kill his qualifying.
Well, looks like everybody has put in a lap except 3 drivers: Eric Peck, Andrew Schroeder, and Daniel Park, and nobody else is taking to the track. And about 75 seconds to go. We have about another. Actually, there's nobody actually on the track right now that will be able to run a warm-up lap and lap depth. What does that mean?
That means that our Pratt Tile and Stone Award, presented by Pratt Tile and Stone, will go again for the 3rd week in a row to Brad Bothwell and that 31 machine. He is definitely showing some speed, that he can do it when it comes to setting that fastest lap time and putting himself in a position to lead them to green. Again, that is the Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award presented to Brad Bothwell. Pratt Tile and Stone, serving Vermont since 2005.
That is quite the feat. In 4 races, Brad Bothwell has taken 3 poles. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't seen much come as a result of those poles. Poles only give you 1 point, but I guess if you keep getting 1 point, eventually you'll point your way into the playoffs. Maybe, I don't know. Brad Bothwell right now 19th in the standings coming into today's race. Out of another point. But still quite a remarkable feat. 3 of the 4 poles this season. The only pole he doesn't have is truly the unpredictable pole at Daytona. It's literally foot to the floor and scrub as little speed as you can. And I guess that's kind of Auto Club as well. But anyway, it's time we get into our starting lineup, shall we, Devin? Look at the time. Oh, wow. We are gone really late. I am loving the time of day we have here at Auto Club Speedway. But let's get through our starting lineup. Row number 1, it'll be, of course, our Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award winner, Brad Bothwell. Again, Pratt Tile and Stone, serving all your tiling needs in Central Vermont since 2005. Kevin Thompson, to his outside in that first row. He'll start 2nd. Row number 2, we'll find number 28, Joe Wooer, and Christian Converse to his outside in row number 3, it'll be driver number 32, Jeremy C. and driver number 33, James Gilliard. Row number 4, it'll be Devin Smith in the 95, and to his outside, driver of the number 5, Matthew Setzer. And in row number 5, it'll be driver number 81, Max Service. Again, very, very happy for his return. And the 45 Toyota Tundra of Julio Villalobos.
Yeah, and then that moves us to row number 6. We're going to have Joseph Causey in the 88 machine, and his outside, his teammate in the 3 machine, Greg Holt. Starting 13th is Kyle Lingerfeld in the 65 machine. He said on social media, watch out for him this week. Let's see what he does. Starting on his outside, last season's winner at this racetrack, Jeremiah Stutzman in the 71. 77 machine of Seth Berger will roll off 15th, and his outside will be Tyler Markle in the 42 machine. 17th is Jesse Adams in the 55 machine. 18th will be Jason Miz in the 24. Joshua Balliet will take the 19th position, and outside of him in 20th will be Andrew Pratt.
We fall back to row number 11. It'll be driver of the number 66, Joshua Fox, and to his outside, driver of the number 63, Randall Barnett. Number 12, it'll be 67 of Doug Solms, and 98 of Farron Elam Jr. Row number 13, Seth Fitzpatrick, who's gotten a top 5 in every race this season. I have a lot of work to do from the 25th position, and to his outside will be a driver who wrecked very early at Homestead, and not really of his own doing at all. Driver to number 96, Matt Rogers. Back to row number 14, it'll be Joshua McClune and John Mickey. Row number 15, it'll be Brandon Richardson and Cody Vreeland.
And then that takes us to our drivers who did not qualify. 31st, Daniel Park. 32nd, Eric Peck. And then finally, in 33rd, will be Andrew Schroeder in the 47.
Again, as these drivers get up to pace speed here off the pit lane here, my apologies. Brad Bothwell on the pole. Let's see the conditions that these drivers are working with today. And my goodness, Devin, very, very cold track temp. 65 degrees, air temp 66 degrees. The track temp and winds 10 miles per hour out of the west and fluctuating.
Yeah, it's very windy at Auto Club always, and with the track temps being this low, I don't think these drivers expected it. We're going to see some very interesting first few laps here. I think the drivers expected to start a little bit sooner, but or a little bit sooner as far as earlier in the day in the sim here, but it's pretty much nighttime now, and that's going to affect how these trucks handle. We'll see when they go green.
Tonight's stages will be the top 10 will be awarded points at the completion of lap 19 and lap 44 under natural flat conditions as the iRacing.com safety vehicle finds its safety into the pit lane. Devin, we are green from Auto Club. In the heart of the lead pack as we work our way through turns 3 and 4 here at the Auto Club Speedway. Brad Bothwell is clear out in front, and Julio Villalobos in the middle of the pack here. Here comes Max Service up the inside of Devin Smith. Max showing some early aggression.
Yeah, Max Service had to check up on the start there. The driver in front of him did not go, so Max Service jumped out of line, and Joseph Causey almost got into the rear end of him. So some very scary moments there for our return, for the return of Max Service, but he seems to be leveling it out now, picking up some positions, working his way up to the front.
We continue on, and in the turn number 3, James Gilliard is inserting himself into the mix in a battle for the race lead. It's Christian Converse to the bottom side of Brad Bothwell, but he's not clear yet. Side by side to the line, truck in the wall, way back in the pack. It's a white truck. Believe that is John Mickey. Actually, I don't believe it is. I believe it's Cody Freeland. Christian Converse the fastest lap and has the inside as we go into turn number 1, but Bothwell keeping him company on that outside lane. Oh my goodness!
Slide job from Chris Converse there. Cuts off Brad Bothwell. Bothwell is going to take it and do the over-under as they get into turn 3, Emerson.
Bothwell now on that bottom side, and that bottom side of the racetrack is the shorter way around. He's going to try to get back clear of Christian Converse, and what a battle we've got for the race lead here at Auto Club. Bothwell is not content losing this lead.
Yeah, with the way that Brad Bothwell qualifies at all of these tracks, I mean, he is the fastest qualifier. He's proven it. If he can get that truck to work during the race and have the get that setup working for him to save tires, he is a big driver to watch out for, and he is giving Chris Converse all he's worth. Chris Converse is going to dive it into turn 3, get under Brad Barthworth, and take this lead away.
Bothwell holding station on the high side. This time I think Converse is long clear as Joe Wooer inserts himself into the mix in that number 28 Ford F-150. Now, the top 3 is starting to break away from the rest of the field. Max Service trying to put himself into the mix as Converse, I believe, he's his first lap of the day. Actually, it's second. He got credited with the lap 2 lap lead. Christian Converse does. And Joe Wooer is not content riding behind the lime green number 31 machine.
Yeah, he's going to try the outside, try to get the run as they come off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. There is a battle for fourth as well as Joseph Causey and Max Service are battling away, trying to get back up to these top 3 drivers. Max Service going to send it inside of Joseph Causey, and there's another player as Poole is on the outside in the 32 truck. He's going to try, but he does not get there and has to fall back in behind the the 88 and the 81 machines.
As Service and Causey do get out hard for fourth. We're not done for the race lead. Wooer all over the tailgate of Converse into turn 1. Vascend into the corner. Almost makes contact with the 19's tailgate. And Wooer keeping Converse at bay on lap number 6 of 97 already.
Yeah, he's using that high side very efficiently here, getting the runs down. He's going to be under Chris Converse as they get into turn 3. We have a battle for the lead. Is he going to clear him? He is clear. Joe Wooer to the lead here at Auto Club.
Joe Wooer will clear his way in front of Christian Converse. And now look at the gap he's already opened up. Now he's trying to break the slipstream as Converse comes back to the tailgate of 28. And is he going to send it down to 1? He's going to follow him into 1, maybe set himself up for turn number 3. But Joe Wooer, the current race leader, and he's opened up a nice little advantage. Work away back into the pack, guys. Actually, everybody's kind of singled it out except for Max Service and Kazi. They've now singled out. Bothwell is not content sitting behind Converse.
Yeah, Bothwell's still been hanging right there with this lead trio, and he's going to send it. He's going to take over that second spot and try and go after Wooer himself. But I think Wooer's found something on that high line. We did say at the opening, I mentioned that this could be a multiple groove racetrack with how wide it is, and we're seeing that now. Converse kind of sticking to the bottom of the racetrack, same with Bothwell, but Joe Wooer running a couple of lanes up.
Near contact there between Service and Kazi, and out Service to the inside of Christian Converse.
Yeah, Max Service, he's being very methodical here, picking them off one at a time, worked his way through by Kazi. Gonna bring the 32 machine of pool along with him. And now he sets his sights on third place. He's trying to put it there. He's there door to door with the third place machine of Chris Converse.
Max Service is on a mission. I think he's had enough of hearing about a 30-some-odd race winless streak. I guess you have to account for the 2 races he did not start in the past 2 weeks. Still, Max Service looking at well over 32 races of winlessness. And I think he's tired of it. He cleared himself in the 3rd very early in this Auto Club race still, but he set the sights on the top 2.
Yeah, he got a little loose pulling the slide job there on Converse. Converse gets back underneath of him as they go into turn 3. He's going to have the preferred line, but can Max make that outside lane work? As well as Joe Wooer is, he is starting to pull away just ever so slightly from the 2nd place of Brad Bothwell.
And we look now off the rear end of Joe Wooer as he opens up a 2/10 of a second advantage over Brad Bothwell. Working our way through turn 1 here at the Auto Club Speedway. And you see he's running up, well, I say that outside lane. He's that 2nd lane from the outside while Wooer is trying to get the truck to rotate by using the seams to rotate in. Look at the seams, by the way. We talk about old surfaces. We talk about the the reconfigure of Atlanta. Another track I think that is definitely on the docket for getting reconfigured. It's actually this has been talked about greatly. We talked about earlier in the pre-race show about the track being changed to a potential short track. But the Auto Club Speedway is another one of those tracks with very, very old pavement. I think we're working upwards of 22 years old, I'm sorry, here at the Auto Club Speedway in real life. And when you have pavement that old, you really need to get this truck to turn in more ways than just mechanical grip. You got to create grip another way than you maybe would on a fresher set of pavement.
Yeah, exactly. And the end result of that, Emerson, is that it eats tires. This racetrack is known to destroy tires, and it does that same as Atlanta did, the same as Michigan is starting to do, where it will just take tires, it'll shred them out, turn them to pieces, and you just got to deal with it. And so that's why I mentioned in the opener there, whoever's going to manage the tires, manage your fuel the best, pull that strategy, they have a great shot at winning this race. As we see 2 trucks, Cody Vreeland and the 69, I believe that was, out of the race already or getting some repairs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. A lot's going. There's Cody Vreeland. We'll try to figure out what happened to him in a second. But here is the 69 of John Mickey working his way down the back straightaway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That seems like an equipment malfunction.
Yeah, and he immediately tows. Definitely something gone wrong. We've seen that a couple times from different people last season. A couple times it sticks out to me that Joseph Causey had wheel issues where his wheel would get stuck in a certain position, and then he would basically just turn straight left and basically just flip himself. I forget the track it was, but it was a short track. And he just turned immediate left and flipped himself down the straightaway. Seems like something similar happened to that to John Mickey here, which is really unfortunate.
Well, also, Cody Vreeland has owned an engine. I'd have to imagine this is maybe he still had his qualifying grill tape on or something like that. Maybe forgot to change the qualifying setup. But Cody Vreeland just in the middle of the pack just blows up right in front of Matt Rogers. That's got to be scary here, that 96 car.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that happened again. Probably just forget to change the setup when he gridded. With the grill tape the way it is and running in a pack there, it's not a lot of clean air to keep that nose cool. So, yeah, that's probably more than likely what happened.
John Mickey, and the unfortunate circumstance that I'm. Like it was not this lap, but John Mickey still, that is wild. The ride that he had taken there, to the infield here at the Auto Club.
Yeah, it definitely had to be some type of equipment malfunction. We're going to speed it up here and get to the backstretch. There it is. So he's coming down and yeah, just dead left. So something definitely broke on that rig of his, or it'd be the same in real life. Something breaks on the truck in real life, and something similar could happen. Yeah, definitely don't want to see that devastating of an impact, but this is a sim, so we're glad he's all right.
Absolutely. We continue on. Joe Wooer, the current race leader over Brad Bothwell. I think it is time we got to check up on what's going on up here. Bothwell still there in second. Max Service now in third over Greg Holt. Seth Berger, Christian Converse has fallen back quite a distance back here. He's back into the got a little bit of a margin over Joseph Cosby, who's got Jason Miz and Julio Villalobos until Villalobos again coming to the series. Very aggressive there to the tailgate there to number 24.
Yeah, again, some good midfield battles here from about 7th on back. It's pretty tight. I mean, even our lead group is pretty tight, but these guys are right on top of each other. Villalobos again, right up to the back of the 24 machine. He's going to choose the high line, try and get some fresh air on the nose of that truck, get the run off the turn. Let's see if he can make it work. Maybe try to get under him as they get into turns 1 and 2. Get the draft a little bit. Looks like Miz is trying to break it, and everybody's trying to pull him behind him. The draft is a factor here, Emerson. It can get you a good run down the front stretch and the back straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pack of trucks right here behind Miz and Villalobos. Julio Villalobos Jr. now gets the run. He looks to the inside. There's Gilliard and Setzer. A couple of drivers who were fast in qualifying early, right back here just outside the top 10. Actually, Setzer in the top 10. Villalobos attempted to make that overtake, but could not get down there in a convincing manner enough. And this is going to allow Matthew Setzer into the mix. Right off, Setzer puts it in the wall.
Yeah, that's one thing you got to watch out for, riding the high line. You got to keep it out of the wall. That was a pretty significant hit. He's going to lose a lot of positions, killing his momentum. I mean, it's all about momentum here. The trucks are pretty much wide open the whole time. Villalobos, though, he is there. He's underneath of Jason Miz, battling away for this 8th place spot. Jason Miz, though, gets the run off of turn 2. He's going to stay ahead for now.
We look up here, and this is Max Service, who's been over. He's fallen back from 3rd down to the 5th position. Bothwell and Service found their way by, and Greg Holt has gone his way up to 2nd. My goodness, what is going on here for Max Service?
Just could be maybe pushing a little too hard at the beginning, starting to get a little bit more worn tires. And then we know that 3 truck has very good long run speed. We've seen that so far at Rockingham and at Homestead, and just things haven't gone his way at the end of races. Trying to change that today, but it might have some company, or may have some challenge here. That Joe Wooer truck, he's still a second and 2:10 or 1.3 seconds, excuse me, away, and holding steady right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe Wooer has he's come to play today in that number 28 machine. He's still holding his station over Greg Holt. I mean, just a speck out the rear tailgate here. That Oh, my apologies. We also missed the end of stage number 1 there. That battle there we saw via Lobos and Miz. That was very important for the top 10 positioning there. But our stage 1 results that were scored at the end of lap 19. Joe Wooer, of course, was leading at the time by a large margin over Greg Holt. And you know what? I think Service was trying to at least get stage points there, and I think he lost out just barely, because third was Brad Bothwell, and fourth was Seth Berger, fifth Max Service, sixth Christian Converse, seventh was Joseph Kazi over Jason Miz, and eighth Julio Villalobos in ninth, and James Gilliard came home in 10th at the end of stage number 1.
Yeah, we're starting to see those guys who maybe pushed a little hard to get those stage points falling back. One of those that comes to mind is Max Service. He's now back to 6th place. Jason Miz has also fallen out of the top 10. So Fair Neelam Jr. is now up into the 10th spot. A couple guys who have kept their trucks under him. Again, the 3 truck and this 77 truck of Seth Berger. He now makes the pass on Brad Bothwell. Bothwell not going to give up that easily. He will fight every inch of this track for every position. But he's going to fight him for that 3rd place. He's back underneath. We'll see what happens as they come into turn 1. Bothwell on the inside, Seth Berger on the outside.
Last season's champion and this season's qualifier, Brad Bothwell and Seth Berger going at it for the 3rd position. Bothwell trying to make sure he can hang on to at least the top 5 and make something of his amazing qualifying runs he's had the past 3 weeks. And Seth Berger proving why he is a already series champion, powering his way forward early on in this race, but still not a decisive move made in this battle. Bothwell back to the inside over Berger.
Yeah, and we saw this last week too, Emerson. The 31 machine, that green truck, was the nemesis of the 77 truck. Just kept him behind, or Brad Bothwell kept Seth Berger behind him most of the race, just battling like this. Seth Berger using a lot more tires than he wanted to at Homestead, and just could not get by the 31 machine. He's going to try it again down into turn 3. Can he clear him this time and stay ahead? Bothwell is definitely making that over-under move work. Let's see what Seth Berger does off of 4. He is there, but Bothwell to the outside. Seth Berger stayed lower that time, not to give that inside lane away, but it killed his momentum down the front stretch. This battle for 3rd is phenomenal right now. They head into turn 1 side by side.
Still side drafting one another. 77 of Seth Berger to 31 of Brad Bothwell. Going hard at it here at the Auto Club Speedway. Berger clears back up the track, and Bothwell back down to the bottom side. And now Greg Holt, Joe Wooer, they work their way past some lap traffic, and Berger holds station now into turn 3.
Yeah, Seth Berger looks like he's got that move done now. It took him a few laps, probably a couple laps longer than he wanted to. Burn up a little bit of tire usage there. Let's see if he could catch up to the 2nd and 1st place sitters at the moment. Oh, a lap truck here. Wow, he was right in the middle of the track there in the 55. That was a little dangerous for our lead group here, but he's going to move to the outside and let these guys get by, it looks like, safely now. And Seth Berger, again, he has cleared that Brad Bothwell machine and moved up into the 3rd place. So our top 3, Joe Wooer, Greg Holt, and Seth Berger.
Joe Wooer has done a phenomenal job, and even though we're now in a lengthy part of the run, and now Greg Holt is starting to show some muscle, bringing that gap down to 0.8 of a second. Greg Holt has not just straight up eaten everything that Joe Wooer has built up here. It is taking Greg Holt a lot of time to really close in on this leader. And this certainly isn't done, and we still have a lot of strategy to play out. We haven't even made our first round of pit stops. We still have stage points to award at the completion of lap 44 as well. A lot can go on here as Joe Wooer continues to hold the lead now, just under 0.7 of a second. Now breaking the slipstream down the straightaway here. As an open wheel fan, you like that, huh, Devin?
Yeah, I do a little bit, a little dirt tracking almost. So, yeah, he is definitely putting it out there. Greg Holt's got some work to do. He's starting to fall back again. It was down to about 0.7, now back up to 9. And I don't know if Greg Holt was expecting this. He's not really had to work on these long runs to keep up with people or to pass people. He's kind of just been the Greg Holt show when we get on these long runs, but not tonight. This F-150 of Joe Wooer is giving him a run for his money on these long runs, and it's definitely nice to see for us fans. I'm not sure that Greg Holt again would like to see it. I'm sure he'd like to be on a Sunday drive like he was last week at Homestead, except finishing under green conditions probably, but we'll see what he can do here. He's trying to claw back. Another guy who's trying to claw back is Seth Berger. He is taking a little bit out of that lead. He's now down to 2.6 seconds back. It was about 3 seconds when he got by the 31 machine. So he's trying his hardest too. Another guy back here, Max Service, he's hanging on to 6, but he's got a train behind him.
Yeah, Max Service, I definitely think, is used to stuff up early, trying to prioritize track position early. Looks like it's not necessarily paying off. Villalobos now with the move to the inside of the 81. The Mexican versus the Canadian side by side through turn number 3, and Villalobos on the bottom side trying to make it work. Service keeping it up high. I like that. We got the Canadian up high and the Mexican down low.
Yeah, and the 33 for Gilliard, the American, maybe looking to put it in the middle. I mean, that might be kind of interesting there, but as far as geography goes. But yeah, definitely some big battles here for these 6 spots. We should stay away from the puns. We're not really good at them. But definitely some good battles here. Service is going to hang on to that 6th spot, and Villalobos is going to get passed twice by Gilliard and Stutzman, both making it work and splitting Villalobos there.
Yeah, Julio Villalobos, I was just about to say, I'm loving the Hispanic representation as a fellow Hispanic myself. Just absolutely dotted up there by James Gilliard and Jeremiah Stutzman. We continue on to Max Service, heads this battle still, trying to hold on to what he's got, but that is an ill-handling truck if I've ever seen one, and I think Service has to kind of hold it out for the long haul. I think with this race being 97 laps, making the one stop very easy, everybody kind of has to go for that one stop. I would have liked to see this race 100 laps to make the one stop difficult and make it a real difficult decision to see if people would go for a 2 stop where it's much faster, or a 1 stop where you're, eliminating a whole pit stop out of it. But making an easier race for 1 stop, I think is going to prove to be interesting. It's going to put a lot of emphasis on perfecting your pit stop.
Yeah, we've not really seen a one-stop race so far in this series. We've seen some multiple stop races. I think Homestead we could have got by with 2, but yeah, this is definitely interesting. I mean, you're going to have, if it stays green, you're going to have one chance to make it work here, and it's got to be perfect. No sliding through the box. Got to put it right on the money and get out as quickly as you can. Hopefully you don't have any damage. Definitely don't want to fix anything like that under green flag conditions. We still have a great battle going on here for the 6th, 7th, and 8th positions. All 4 of these drivers. Oh, and there is Max Service diving in already.
Well, just as I say, the 2 stop is going to be overlooked. I think Max Service was in dire need of something. And I think Max, at this point, he really has no choice. He was not going to win this race if he went on to 1 stop like everybody else. He had to try something. And we're right at that 1/3 mark. If you go, 97 laps, so you can split this into 33, 33, 32. I'm sorry, 33, 32, 32. So right there, this will be the first stop. And he's bringing in Joseph Causey. Causey coming in is a shock to me. I'd expect Causey to try to go long here. So maybe the 2 stop is not completely eliminated. But I'm looking at drivers that I definitely expect. Service and Balliet. Pratt is an unusual one to me. But I could definitely see Balliet and Service, as I know them to be very aggressive at the starts of these races, that they definitely would maybe chew up their stuff early and kind of eliminate a 1-stop strategy.
Yeah, and we saw when the tire fall off happened now with these guys, right around that 17, 18, 19 lap mark is when they fell off. And one thing I did notice, Emerson, that we kind of didn't catch earlier was that Joseph Causey did fall off quite a bit. He was back down into the teens at the time of that pit stop, and that's just because he probably ate his stuff up early as well. Just wanting to come down and get some fresh rubber and try and make it up on a 2 stop. It looks like he's going to come back down again, though.
Oh no! Did Joseph Causey get caught speeding? I believe is what happened, is Matt Rogers and Randall Barnett are now on the pit lane. I believe, and Josh McClune is in as well. I think it is Spedden or 88 of June.
You don't want to see that, especially for such a good driver. Joseph Causey featured this week as the driver of the week on PitStop TV's social media account. And you just don't want to see something like that where it could really affect the race. As short as this race is, that's really, really, really going to make it difficult for him to get back in this thing.
So he was penalized, but he was penalized by race control for a violation of essentially driving through too many pit boxes or not staying to the outside of pit lane. Race control trying to get more strict on that this season and making sure that these drivers stay to the outer lane of pit lane, because it can get very difficult. And you've been in these races, Devin, where somebody up ahead of you just a little eager to get to their pit box and they drive down the middle of the pit lane and bam, you miss your pit box because you couldn't see that truck or car that's right in your line of sight. So race control is trying to cut down on that, make sure, you stay on the right side until your pit box is approaching. And I believe Causey, violator of that.
Yeah, they're trying to, I've seen other leagues do this as well on the service, where they're trying to make it more realistic in conjunction with real life, where you have a pit box limit where you have, if nobody's in the pit box, you can go through maybe one or two other pit boxes to get to yours. And you have the same getting out. You have to get out. Pretty much you can only clip the pit box in front of you. Can't go more than that one. Turn it hard to the right. Get over far to the right as you can. And unfortunately for him, he was caught going through too many this time. So, but either way, a penalty really, really hurts his chances of winning this race. And I believe that probably inadvertently, Max Services triggered all these green flag pit stops, so maybe a little earlier than some of these guys really wanted to come.
Yeah, this is really mind-boggling to me. So yes, race control has clarified that the rule is to stay on the outside lane, down the pit lane, as to not hinder others. So it was kind of as the scenario I was explaining. When you're coming down the pit lane, somebody is traveling in that middle lane instead of the outside lane, as you should, because it has caused people in pit boxes before. We have a driver on the pit way up in the running order. It's not way 6 Daniel Park, but we do have James Gilliard in as well, and he's got company. And Devin, I don't know, the surefire one stop doesn't look so surefire anymore, as Julio Villalobos is the race leader.
Yeah, it doesn't. And one of the guys that maybe we expected to test that out was Jeremiah Stutzman. It does look like he has already made his pit stop as well. I believe the only cars still on track left that have not pitted are Julio Villalobos, Tyler Markle, and that's it. Let's see. Yeah, everybody else has pitted. And the driver currently who's going to inherit the lead after these pit stops looks to be, I believe, Max Service with that early pit stop by a couple of laps.
33. James Gilliard has a drive-through penalty for a pit entry violation.
Yeah, and again, with such a short race, you got to avoid the mistakes.
Oh no! Speaking of mistakes,
man, Julio Villalobos, we were talking about it. You got to avoid the mistakes on pit road. They can kill your race. I know that personally. I have spun off pit road before, just giving it a little too much gas, and it just destroyed my race when I had a race-winning car. And man, you never want to see things like this happen, but they do. Very unfortunate. But Max Service, though, made the most out of it. He got on and off quickly. He is in the lead, but for how much longer? The 28 truck is on him.
And Joe Wooer will power down to the inside of the Canadian Max Service. And okay, I have to apologize. You have to eat my words. I thought this was a surefire one stop, and you know what I failed to consider? I failed to consider the on-throttle time in these trucks will significantly change the fuel number you can hit. I'm so used to the higher horsepowered Xfinity cars and the Cup cars that you have to lift a little bit more. these trucks, I think they're somewhere in the 450 horsepower range. It's basically a super speedway. You're wide open nearly all the way around, so you are not saving that much fuel. We'll eat the. But look at this lead pack.
Yeah, these green flag pit stops definitely put this pack back together. We have a three-way battle for the lead. Joe Wooer, Max Service, Chris Converse. Converse going to try and send on the middle. Now he dives down all the way to the inside in the apron, trying to make it 3 wide. He's underneath the 81 truck, but Joe Wooer has cleared both of them. He is now the race leader.
Wooer clears to the lead, and Converse now trying to get clear of the Canadian. Here comes Seth Berger. So Max Service is not flying solo up here, and Balliet has put himself in 7th as well. And I think now we're looking at a whole different race. Now we're looking at a clear 2 stop. By the way, the stage is coming up at the completion of lap 44. This might have been a ploy to get some stage points. It has not worked out for Max Service, at least. He's gained positions, but he's quickly losing. Coming around to 2 laps to go in this stage, and Joe Wooer, he has not broken a gap from Converse. Here comes Seth Berger. Max Service still fights hard there in 4th. I'm sorry, in 3rd, and Greg Holt there in 5th with Bothwell in tow.
Yeah, and Holt's trying to look for any opening he can between these 2 teammates in front of him. Just no room. Now he's going to try and get under the 81 truck as the 77 of Seth Berger does clear him. They're right on each other coming off turn 2. They keep it off of each other, but they are battling. Oh, it looks like Max Service got a good run off of the turn. He's going to keep ahead of the 3 truck for now as they go into turn 3.
Balliet and Miz duking it out as they go side by side into turn 3. We're turning our way back to the 6 truck battle for the race lead, and 1 lap to go here in stage number 2. Again, there is no caution for these stages. They are scored under natural flat conditions, so the way these drivers cross the start-finish line next time by will dictate how many points, if any, they get on a scale from 10 to 1. 10 for the stage winner, 1 place driver, which is currently Farron Elam Jr. Got himself a bit of margin there. The battle back there, and who will or who won't get stage points. Pretty calm, but back here comes race leader Joe Wooer past the lap number 47.
Yep, Wooer comes off turn 4. It looks like he is coasting for the stage 2 points. He's going to take it to the line, and he's going to win stage 2, followed by Chris Converse, Seth Berger, Greg Holt. Max Service looks to keep in front of the 31 machine of Brad Bothwell. And then we are still waiting on the rest of them. Jason Miz comes through, Josh Balliet in 8th. And then Jeremiah Stutzman will be 9th. And Farron Elam Jr. will take the 10th spot.
And we will confirm, because it was very close between Max Service and Brad Bothwell. You know what? I'm very happy that Max Service was able to come back. And we did get the confirmed stage results from race controller Adam Gardner. It is Joe Wooer, Christian Converse, Seth Berger, Greg Holt, Max Service over Brad Bothwell. That was my only thing. I did not know who beat who to the line. So it was Service over Bothwell, then Miz, Balliet, Stutzman, and Farron Elam Jr. The top 10. But unfortunately, my whole thing on a 1-stop has been blown out of proportion. Just as it was yesterday. If you're watching the Nork Atlanta race yesterday, Brett Pancari, who actually won the Auto Club race in the 13th season over there, the Nork Racing Series, was trying a 1-stop at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and it was looking like it was going to work out. And then we got later into the race, about 15 laps to go. Pancari was quickly losing time, and then a caution came out with Tommy Gossett and Zoltan Hertzik. A big commotion on the back straightaway that brought out the caution at the field, and Daniel Falkenham somehow, some way, got his 6th win on the season out of all of that. Continue on here, though, to battle for 2nd. Holt powering by Seth Berger. Converse there in 2nd, though, not able to pull away.
Yeah, Chris Converse not able to pull away like he was at Rockingham so much. His teammate Greg Holt right behind him, along with that burnt rubber racing truck of Seth Berger. He is battling hard on the outside. He does not want to give up the position to Greg Holt.
No!
They make contact.
And Seth Berger going through the grass. Oh, no! Big hit to the inside pit wall.
Oh, my goodness.
Think this might bring out a yellow. And we're still waiting. And Seth Berger has towed. His competitive night is over. and I still see trucks picking up speed on the back straightaway. I don't believe getting yellow out of this one. I'm going to take a replay and see what happened. Just moments away from going to a break here, but Seth Berger, big hit for that 77 to the inside pit wall. Contact from Christian Converse. Let's see what happened.
I believe it was from Greg Holt, not Christian Converse. Greg Holt underneath of him here. It looks like just got loose. Maybe some net code. Maybe the 3 truck got loose, and then just net code toppled on top of that. Puts Seth Berger in the outside wall. The truck turns left and hits the entry wall to pit road. That is night done for the 77 machine. Unfortunate for our reigning champion.
And while this does meet all the criteria that would bring out a caution here at the Auto Club Speedway, it is the responsibility of the drivers to radio out that there is an incident that is worthy of a caution on to race control, because that in any other circumstance would be very much a caution. 2 cars making contact, 1 car spinning towards an inside barrier and ricocheting back across and onto the racing surface on an actively green racetrack. I don't believe the Seth Berger radio that this should be a yellow, so we will stay green, as we've now gone so many laps past this incident. It would just not be warranted anymore. But a huge incident there for Seth Berger, and his competitive night very much over. And the more we run these races, that we've only ran 4, but I don't think that was intentional by any means. I should preface this by saying that I don't think that was intentional. I think Holt got loose. I think is primary thing there. But these performance sim sport and these burnt rubber racing trucks, they can't stay away from one another, man. They've made a lot of contact over the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, they've had some run-ins for sure. But most of the time it's been clean between these guys, just very hard racing. Some very fast competitors. One of the guys, though, that's on neither of the team is kind of running away with us. A new guy to the series, Joe Wooer, is up front. He is, again, put about 2 seconds on these performance sim sports drivers of Greg Holt and Chris Converse. Greg Holt has cleared his teammate for 2nd place while we were looking at those replays. He's trying to track down Wooer again, and Wooer is showing a lot of speed from the very beginning of the run to the end of the run. I don't know if these SimSport guys are going to be able to keep up with him. I know that they are trying their hardest, but definitely something that they probably did not expect tonight, with a new driver coming to the series and showing all of the speed.
Absolutely. And well, we're going to step aside and let this race play out a little bit. We're not going to actually go anywhere. We're going to go side by side here at PitStop TV coverage. We remain here from the Auto Club Speedway as nighttime falls 40 miles east of LA. We're still truck racing at Auto Club. Don't go anywhere.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
After months of quarantine, we're all interested in how we can become our best self. The team at Permanent Makeup and Cryo is here to help you get the flawless makeup look every day without the extra effort or time. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy.
SoundArt is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it SoundArt. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? SoundArt gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, back to the virtual Auto Club Speedway here in the virtual Fontana, California. I'm Emerson Arn with Devin Zimmerman alongside Jacob Zala, rocking our social media coverage this evening. Again, I want to shout out our other PitStop TV crew doing their own things here on the channel, of course, on PitStop TV. We have two broadcasts going on at the same time. We have the IORL Kentucky 300-kilometer race out there in the Bluegrass State. They're in the legacy version of Kentucky as well. Very, very excited for that event. That is being headed over there by Trey Shuttlesworth, Eric Brennan on the lead commentary over there with JB Costa and Vincent Cortez rocking their social media coverage. Back here at the Auto Club Speedway, it's been a relatively clean race. And again, I say relatively clean. 0 cautions for 0 laps. We have had 7 lead changes so far. And I think all of that, most of that came from the start of the race and from green flag pit stops, because other than that, only 10 laps have not been led by this 28 of Joe Wooer, who has showed up, and at this point he's led half of the race, showed up and dominated. Will it still come through for Joe Wooer? We'll have to see. We still have another round of pit stops to go before any of that can be decided, Devin, but what do you make of the race we're having tonight?
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting race. Chris Converse has passed his teammate again of Greg Holt, but this is kind of what we saw from this Performance Sim Sports team last couple of races, where they were the ones breaking out to this big lead, but now they're kind of having to settle for, second and third, and they're not alone. I mean, Brad Bothwell, our pole sitter, is right with him. He's starting to figure it out as far as getting speed in that truck in the long run. He is battling with these guys for that second place spot. All 3 of these trucks right there together, second, third, and fourth. And
Converse is pushing Greg Holt. I think he realizes just the intensity of having to maybe pull away from this 31 of Brad Bothwell. I'm very impressed. Brad Bothwell had a I'm going to say at this point, because I think he's redeemed himself since, a rather underwhelming performance at Rockingham. Qualifying a pole and going a lap down, 15 laps in, I believe undamaged as well, was very, very underwhelming. Then showed up at Homestead, led a lot more laps, had a little bit of a say early, and then eventually also fell off. But I think he stayed in the top 10 for that race as well. And today, he's really showed up. He contended a lot. He fought for the lead a lot early, and he's kept himself right in this top 5 in the battle for a podium.
Yeah, he has. He's been pretty much in the top 5 the whole race. I think he fell to 6th for just a couple of laps right before pit stops, but that was it. He has shown up, and he is battling hard. And like I said, I mean, he's not a guy who's going to give any space. And we see Andrew Schroeder now. He is in the pits. Is this scheduled pit stops, Emerson, or is this a little too early, you think?
Well, if you're breaking this race into thirds, it's just shy of making an even split. So I believe is a scheduled stop for Andrew Schroeder, but he's staying in the box very long. This could be damage. This could be penalty driver of 7. But I'd imagine pit stops in the coming laps for most drivers. Want to shout out some of our partners here at PitStop TV before you get to in the pit stops here. Man, I cannot speak when it comes to the auto clubs. But anyway, got a shout out, of course, our partners at Tucson Sound Art. Make sure you check Tucson Center check out Tucson. Wow. At www.tucsonsoundart.com. Use promo code PitStop TV at checkout. 10% off of your wall-mounted sound art device. Of course, race-based setups, a driver development service and setup shop all in one. We have a Discord community. We'll have that Discord link at the end of the broadcast out there. Permanent Makeup in Cryo, Maine. Make sure you check out the website at permanentmakeup.com. Contact owner Ashley Bullier at 207-8683. Whiplash Media, official graphic and camera provider here at PitStop. Check out our website, www.pitstoptv.com, to see how you can get in on getting your own set of broadcast cameras yourself. And, of course, BAM Racing Videos. By a race fan for the racing community. Some housekeeping, I'd say very, very importantly, Andrew Schroeder, just saw him a few laps ago. He's disconnected from the session, quite honestly. I believe maybe just got penalized and he had enough. Andrew Schroeder is 4 laps down in the 28th position, and Jesse Adams is out there, so he will fall down to 29th. Andrew Schroeder will. Jesse Adams, the last car running, is 4 laps down as well. Seth Berger still in the session, but his competitive night is officially over. He is 17 laps down and counting in that number 77 Liftworks Incorporated Chevrolet Silverado. Contact with Greg Holt off of turn number 4. Then that 77 careening off into the inside wall and in 30th position. Julio Villalobos has taken an early exit of tonight as well. Was very competitive early, led some laps, and slid through the pit box. That was the last I heard of Julio. He is out of the session in 31st position, 23 laps down. John Mickey, 32nd. Did a huge impact to the inside wall. Understandably, his night effectively over, and Cody Vreeland, 33rd, his night also effectively over. As Greg Holt is in the pit lane, he brings a friend in Joshua Balliet. Fitting, I guess, that they're friends.
Yeah, that they're coming down and getting this thing started. I'm interested to see when Mac Service is going to come down. He was the first of our stops last time. He's staying out a little bit longer. Maybe he's tried to hang on to those tires. We see the 63 slide through his pit box. Oh, you don't want to do that on the last pit stop of the night, but he slides through. Going to have to back it up, get in, get service, and get out as quick as possible. And we see Valiant leaving there. These are our first stoppers. They can make it to the end from here. Let's see what happens when they cycle through. Max Service still on the track. Joe Wooer still on the track. Chris Converse, Brad Bothwell, Jeremiah Stutzman, who known for going and pulling interesting field strategies, still on the track as well.
We continue on here at the Auto Club Speedway, and I'm hearing things are wrapping up on the IORO side from the Kentucky Speedway, as there is Brad Bothwell, pole sitter, coming into the pit lane here in that 31 machine. You can't miss it, that lime green machine, even though it was trickling off the screen, we still caught him coming down the pit lane.
Yeah, he's going to make his way down, hopefully with no penalties, stay as far to the right. We've seen that happen a couple times in this race so far. Don't want to slide through the pit box, make it nice and simple, get out and get back and possibly put in the lead. And one thing with this being a 2-stop, he does slide through his box. Oh no, that's luckily it wasn't too far. It shouldn't cost him too much time, but yeah, he oh man, that's just unfortunate for Brad Bothwell. But yeah, you want to be as tidy as you can on these pit stops and get out, get back up to the front. Give yourself a chance to win, as we see Joe Wurr still out there. I wonder how long he wants to stay out, knowing, you know, all these guys are coming down and he's going to probably be behind them, as we saw in the last round of pit stops, Emerson.
Well, I think part of that is also seeing, oh, Christian, did he make it? He made it. I think his crew had to adjust for it, but wow, what a stop there for Christian Converse into the box at least. Coming off the pit lane. Converse is down and away. Pratt. Doug Stone's coming off the pit. Max Service having stayed out longer because he just saw that he got absolutely destroyed on older tires. I think he's trying a little something different to keep it that 81 competitive, because once you're out there on the old tires, even though he got some laps led, I mean, there was nothing he could do. He was just getting past. I think trying to counter that with later pits.
Yeah, and what this is going to set up is a very interesting into the race with Joe Wooer staying out long, Jeremiah Stutzman staying out long, Fair Neelam Jr. staying out long. Pretty much the top 6, or sorry, the top 13 have stayed out pretty long. Greg Holt right now would be the inherent race leader after the end of pit stops, basically according to what we saw at the end there. But I mean, just how much longer do you want to stay out here? It's only 27 laps to go, Emerson. Yeah, you might start to run out of time if you're not careful.
Well, another driver that has run out of time is Jeremy C. Poole, penalized for a pit entry violation. Jason Miz back down the pit lane as well. I'd have to imagine this is a violation for lap on his tires and came back down the pit lane. I'd imagine other driver on pit lane, Baron Elam Jr. Kyle Lingerfeld is in as well. Seth Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, this is something that he got really close to the going over the line there when he came off. But we've definitely seen these penalties being handed out, for these. I mean, these definitely violations, but they're definitely starting to play an impact on this race, and you don't want that. You don't want that at all, as far as these drivers. So you got to be careful. You got to abide by the rules. I'm sure they were explained by the admins well before the race to do what they needed to do. But I mean, as a driver, you're trying to take every advantage, every shortcut that you can to get the most out of it. And sometimes you get caught, and that seems to be what's happening tonight. These drivers trying to do what they can, trying to get as much as they can out of these pit stops, and just get caught. But it's unfortunate, but we move on, and we just saw Greg Holt go by our leader and unlap himself. Let's see if Wooer's going to come in this time. I believe he is.
Yes, he is. Joe Wooer is in. He's bringing, I believe that is Devin Smith. But that's not Devin Smith. That is Matt Rogers in the 96 coming in as well. But, yeah, so Greg Holt looking like he have the early advantage on this run. And, my goodness, Matt Rogers way past his box. But Wooer will have the fresher tires. And Devin Smith takes over the race lead. It's nice to see this 95 back out in front. It's been a minute. But Devin Smith, a playoff driver from last season, trying to see if he can duplicate at least the playoff run this season at number 95.
Yeah, trying to get some laps led, get those playoff bonus points in the standings, get yourself closer to that playoff picture. And yeah, just great to see him back up front. We're going to take a look back now at Joe Wooer, and you saw there Greg Holt for a second, how far he is ahead now. Joe Wooer still getting up to speed. I believe Greg Holt's going to be getting into turn 3 by the time that Wooer gets up to speed. So a lot of work to do for the 28 machine. Did he leave himself enough time? It's going to be interesting as we get into the later stages of this race.
Hear this out. It's a very old surface, but at that 8-lap pressure tires for Joe Wooer. He's got a big advantage. They have enough time, as you said, to make that happen. Still out on the racetrack is Tyler Markle and Brandon Richardson, the top 3 drivers who have yet to make their second round of pit stops. Continue on working lap 74 to the 3/4 mark of this race. Still watching if Markle and Richardson work their way around the Auto Club Speedway on old tires and light fuel cells.
Yeah, and the light fuel cell is going to start to make the truck a little bit faster and help it out a little bit. But the old tires are going to just deteriorate. And we see that number of Greg Holt back to Devin Smith there. About 24 seconds, now 23.7 is just ticking away. So these guys really trying to play that long strategy. We'll see if it works. Maybe a late race caution after a couple of laps, and they're still out front. Maybe that can work to their advantage. But the way this race is going, I just don't see that happening. Auto Club kind of known for these long green flag runs without caution flags to interrupt them. And there he is, Devin Smith coming down now, this time by. That will give the lead to Tyler Markle, who's going to stay out on the racetrack.
So Tyler Markle, our current race leader, and Greg Holt, our theoretical race leader, who's got a lapped James Gilliard until again Gilliard was penalized, and I'd imagine a couple others will that round of pit stops. Is Greg Holt is at the apex of 1. Joe Wooer, I think, has cut that deficit big time here. And just getting down and away, already out to top 10. We'll see it rally back for a top 10 here, but Joe Wooer, who just found his way to straightaway, and Greg Holt just entering turn 3.
Yeah, he's eaten into that lead already. Maybe he did know what he was. He had played that strategy perfect and made sure he was on the newest tires at the end of the race, give himself all the advantage. He's still got some ground to make up. He is about, I'd say, a good 5 seconds back. But with those new tires, it should be easy to make up that time in the 20 laps that remain in this race.
Tyler Markle has made his way to the pit lane. That gives the lead to Brandon Richardson, will now make his way to the pit lane. Nearly cutting some grass on pit entry. My goodness.
Yeah, I wonder how close on fuel he was. That was pretty much to the top end of these trucks' limit, possibly when since they're running wide open. So I don't know how close he was on fuel. He's going to make it down, though, and he's just going to have to make a gentle stop, a little slow getting in, trying to be careful with that pit box rule, and makes it in. He's going to get his service get out. That will give the lead back to Greg Holt. He is 3 seconds in front of his teammate Chris Converse, but more importantly, only 5 seconds ahead of Joe Wooer back there in 4th.
Yeah, and as the advantage will now start to regulate a little bit as everybody has cycled through, and there's going to be a lot less variability amongst the front runners as everybody has cycled through on their pit stops. Joe Wooer was just 5.7 seconds when I started talking. He's already down to 5.1 seconds. That is massive.
Yeah, he's chomping away at this thing now. I mean, that truck has been dialed in all night. He definitely wanted to give himself the advantage, I think, went a little bit longer than his competitors, give him the edge as they get to the end of the race. I believe he did leave himself enough time, but he does have a couple of cars, including our race leader's teammate, right behind him in second place there, and Chris Converse. I wonder how hard, I mean, we know Bothwell is a tough pass, but I wonder how hard Chris Converse is going to make it on him to get by, make him use up a little bit of his stuff probably so he can't catch his teammate Greg Holt, I think.
Look up ahead. Look at that battle for second between Bothwell and Converse. Bothwell wants his fair shot at a podium as well. He's given everything he's got to Christian Converse, and Converse can only do so much. But we've seen Converse go to bat for Greg Holt already this season. Will he be able to in another way to help him achieve a victory for Performance Sim Sport this season? They only have the one from Daytona. Trying to see if they can at least get another to their name. Bothwell up high, Converse down low.
Yeah, it looks like Bothwell was a little unsure if he wanted to give that top lane and give the bottom up. I think Bothwell's a little bit better, but here it comes. The 28 machine of Joe Wooer is there. Ooh, Bothwell's going to jump down in front of him, try and get back to the inside of the 19 truck. Big battle for second now. Joe Wooer is there, but he's kind of trapped at the moment.
I think there's only one way for him to go, and that is forward if he can. Try as he might. Bothwell holds on to second, and now Wooer powers by Converse, and here comes Wooer to the inside of Bothwell.
And that kind of worked out in the perfect way for Joe Wooer. Bothwell kind of cleared the way. Joe Wooer goes right on by. Those new tires, or the newer tires, working to perfection. He is only 2.5 seconds back of Greg Holt now, and there is no one between him except a couple of lap cars, which should be getting out of the way pretty easily for him. So this is down now. The hunt is on.
The hunt is on, and the gap officially 2.5 seconds at the time I started talking there. It's down to 2.3 from the moment I had to pull up that graphic. 2.3 seconds, the gap with 15 laps to go. But you got to think now, the tires, they've aged a little bit. They're now 9 laps old on Woower's truck. There's still 17 laps old on Holt's truck. But the advantage he has will start to decrease and decrease over the course of the rest of this race. Does Woower have enough time? It's down to 2 seconds already. The huge advantage he had over the field has decreased.
That is true. Greg Holt trying to hang on. He's got about, was it that 15, 16 laps, 14 laps, 14 laps remaining. And he's just got to hold on. It's now under 2 seconds. Back to Joe Woower, who is tracking him down. And Joe Woower, I mean, he was the best truck on the long runs. So as this run goes longer and longer towards the end of the race, I think that truck's only going to get stronger and stronger. And he's going to be right up on the back of that 3 truck here within the next maybe 5 to 6 laps.
Well, while fireworks are going on and looking like they're starting to happen here, 1.3 seconds the gap for Joe Woower for Joe Woower to Greg Holt. Want to quickly congratulate Alan Elwood for getting it done today in the Bluegrass State for the IORL IndyCar Series. Then they have wrapped up their penultimate round of the season. And hear this, they have 1 race left on their calendar, and that is that's coming up in a couple weeks time here. They have 1 race left. Brandon Madonia is the point leader by 1 point over Zach Buchanan, and by 6 over Rick Ravon, and by 12 over Kyle Cuthbertson. That is going to be a wild finale whenever we can get the IORL season finale going here on PitStop TV. That is phenomenal, the show that we are ready to see there. But as I've gone through that, half a second the margin between the top 2.
Yeah, Joe Woower is there for the most part. He has him right in his mirror. Greg Holt's been having trouble with this lap truck. He can't seem to get by him right now.
Here we go.
63 machine, and Woower is there. He's going to go to the outside, try to put it in the middle possibly. Nope. He's going to duck in behind the 3 truck now, maybe try to push him and take the inside lane as they get into turn 1. He's on the back bumper for the lead. Here we go. With just 11 laps to go, Joe Woower is looking to put the pressure on.
12 laps to go from the Auto Club Speedway. Greg Holt holds on to the spot now over Joe Woower. Catching is one thing, passing is another. Jesse Adams is back into pit box. Woower down low. Can he power by Greg Holt off of turn number 2? Woower, can he clear up? He will. New race leader once again. It's Joe Woower. Can he hold on 11 and a half more times?
Yeah, and that lap truck of the 63 machine played for the perfect pick. He had Greg Holt trapped on the bottom. Greg Holt could not get the runs off the turns. He is clear now, but it's a little too late. Joe Woower back to the point. He's got the freshest tires. He's got the lead. I don't know if there's anyone can stop him, but don't look now. We have a surprise person in 3rd place. Jeremiah Stutzman's come out of nowhere. Last week's winner. He's up to 3rd.
Well, hello there. Last week's winner and last season's Auto Club winner. Now, here's the thing. He has 2 lap older tires than Joe Woower, but imagine that Joe Woower really pushed on his set of tires and Stutzman didn't. We might be talking a little bit of a battle here. We'll see if Stutzman can get around Greg Holt once again in the later stages of a race, but this time it'd be for 2nd, and if he'll have anything for Joe Woower, who's already opened up a 1.1 second advantage and 1.5 second advantage over Jeremiah Stutzman. Stutzman tries his mind. He's got to get by Holt if he wants any chance at Woower.
He does. He's there. He's putting it on the bottom as they get into turns 1 and 2, right behind the 3 truck of Greg Holt. He's going to be on the quarter panel as they come off the turn, but Greg Holt's going to have the advantage on the high line as they go down the back straightaway into turn 3. But Jeremiah Stutzman's there. He's door to door into 3. He was able to make it stick. He's going to be there on the inside. He's going for 2nd place.
And Stutzman will clear his way into the 2nd position, and the gap between himself and Woower has stagnated between 1.5 seconds over the course of the lap, and Stutzman passed the truck. Stutzman might have a chance here. It's going to be a while. Greg Holt's trying to fight back on Jeremiah Stutzman, and now you got to look behind Greg Holt. Brad Bothwell is on 2 lap pressure tires.
Yeah, I don't know if Greg Holt maybe just played that strategy wrong, pitting a little early, thinking maybe he would bring everyone in with him. And it may have backfired on him here. But Brad Bothwell, I mean, we can't say enough good things about him. Recovering from Rockingham to that Homestead race, running in the top 10. Now he's fighting for a podium position, showing that he's starting to get those long runs dialed in for that 31 machine, and complimenting his amazing single lap speed in qualifying. He's going to go for the podium, and Jeremiah Stutzman's going to try and go for this win. The gap still to the leader, 1.5 seconds.
1.6 seconds the gap now for Joe Wooer out in front of Jeremiah Stutzman. 7.5 laps to go. And Joe Wooer, his first Outlaws Sim Series start, turning some heads right away. Now he's got, 7 laps and some change before it's official, but even if something were to happen to him, what a phenomenal performance by him today. Absolutely dominating, has played the strategy right. 67 laps led. A phenomenal job from Joe Wooer, and my goodness, how many 55 trucks are out there? I've seen that 55 be passed a billion times tonight. Jesse Adams, tries him out. He's out there and fighting, but that is, I've seen that 55 way too many times tonight.
Yeah, maybe just it looks like he's kind of beat the wall down on the right-hand side of the truck, just not having the speed. Maybe did it early. The whole back end of the truck on the right side's messed up. He's going to get out of the way of Jeremiah Stutzman. Stutzman's still trying to track down, but it does look like Joe Wooer has put the pedal down. It's 1.7 seconds back to Jeremiah Stutzman with only 5 laps to go.
6 laps to go. When we come around, it'll be 5 to go. Stutzman is losing any shot, I guess, he had at Joe Wooer. That quickly goes down the drain, but the battle for the podium rages on. Here comes Bothwell on Holt. Does Bothwell have what it takes to find a way around this number 3 truck? Bothwell now looks on at our current point leader, Greg Holt. That bottom side of the racetrack, but can't hold it all the way down there. Bothwell, 2-lap fresher tires, able to turn the truck a little bit more in the dirty air, in the slipstream. But 5 laps to go now. Is there anything Bothwell can do for Greg Holt for 3rd?
Yeah, math is hard for me right now with all the excitement on the track. I keep forgetting to count the lap that we're on, and it is 5 laps to go. Bothwell trying to run the high line here, maybe get the run off of turn 2, see if he can put it under the truck, but it looks like Greg Holt got loose off of turn 2.
He got tight. He had to lift to keep it out of the barrier side by side down the back straightaway. Here comes Bothwell.
Bothwell to the inside. He is on the apron trying to keep it off. Slides up a little bit in the turn. They're side by side coming off of turn 4 to the line. It does look like Brad Bothwell is going to make it stick, but Greg Holt's not going to say that easily. He maintains the 3rd position for that time with the run off the high line, even as he got tight. He did get tight off of turn 2 and had to lift a little bit, killing his momentum. Bothwell still side by side into turn 1 and 2. They're really close, Emerson.
Bothwell, try as he might, he wants a podium to complement his 3 poles in 4 races. Brad Bothwell all over the tailgate, all over the inside of Greg Holt, but to no avail yet. He's got 2 and... he's coming around to 3 laps to go here at the Auto Club Speedway. Right up to the tailgate, trying not to put it in the barrier, but get onto the throttle as soon as he can. He's now losing a little bit of touch to Greg Holt here. Is Bothwell suffering in that dirty air?
He may be just trying some different things to set up the pass. Greg Holt's not going to make it easy for him. He wants to battle him the whole way. He wants that podium position. Doesn't want to lose any more points than he has to, and I don't blame him. But, I mean, Bothwell's not one to give up easily. He's going to do everything he can, and that's what he's doing, trying different lines, different runs, anything he can to get that to that 3rd place. He's right on the back of Greg Holt. Oh, they're going to make contact.
They're trying to maybe. Bothwell, try as he might, trying to get to the inside. Now 2 laps to go from the Auto Club Speedway, and Holt to the apron of the racetrack to block the momentum, block the run, back up high to block Bothwell. Back into turn number 1, Bothwell's got to try something to get around this 3 truck. I don't know what it's got to be, though.
I'm not sure either, and if you're wondering, Joe Wooer has opened up a 2.2 second lead on Jeremiah Stutzman. Here's the Brad Bothwell, though, for third place. Dives it to the inside. He's not there. He's going to try and maybe run a little bit higher line getting in, dive it off. He's on the apron, it looks like, as they go through turns 3 and 4. Makes it stick, though. Stays right on the back of Greg Holt. He's there still, but he's not able to get by the 3 machine.
An absolute dogfight as Joe Wooer takes the white flag presented by Tucson Sound Art. And look at this. Joseph Causey's getting at the tail end the lead lap here, trying to hold off Kyle Lingerfeld and race leader Joe Wooer. I don't believe that's going to be too much of a factor. I don't believe Wooer will even try to get involved with his margin. He's actually losing time now. Jeremiah Stutzman. Bothwell tries, he might sends it down to the inside of Greg Holt into turn 3. Holt sent it on in there, and Bothwell can't get there because out of turn number 4, first time race winner, Joe Wooer.
Wooer takes the win in a magnificent race from him, dominating this race from pretty much about 10 laps in until the end. Jeremiah Stutzman's going to bring it home second. Greg Holt was able to hold on to a magnificent battle with Brad Bothwell for third. Bothwell will have to settle for that 4th place position. Chris Converse will come home in 5th.
And how about it? Our Canadian Max Service, and we have a few Canadians, I should say, but Max Service making his return. Had surgery just a week and a half ago. He comes back out onto the racetrack, and he'll bring it home in the 6th. Valiette was in the top 10 for most of that run there at the end, but lost out in the top 10 very late in the going. But Joe Wooer, the race winner here at Auto Club, I believe his first Outlaws Sim Series start. And he is, well, if this is his first Outlaws Sim Series start, 1 for 1 for the 28.
It is amazing to think that if this is his first start, he gets his first win. 100% start win rate for him at the moment, and he's gonna burn it down here on the front stretch and entertain these virtual fans at the virtual Auto Club Speedway. Such a great moment for a new driver in this series, Emerson.
Yeah, and Joe Wooer, I think he spent a little bit of time there either soaking it in or maybe just trying to figure out how to get this thing to do a burnout. Either way, Joe Wooer, reason to celebrate on the front straightaway here in SoCal. And tonight's race winner, Joe Wooer, he heads his way down the pit exit here. I don't know if he's going to flip a UE. Oh, no, not the cone. Man. Joe Wooer will bring it to a complete stop. And that being said, we're going to step aside real quick. On the far side, we going through our post-race coverage here at the Auto Club Speedway. Don't you go anywhere. Post-race coverage of the Outlaws Sim Series 4th round on the season on the far side.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home. By combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.
Welcome, race fans, now into post-race coverage here of the Outlaws Sim Series from the Auto Club Speedway. And what a job, what a race it was today, but what a job from today's race winner, I believe making his first ever Outlaws Sim Series start, driver of the number 28, Joe Wooer. Joe, first of all, what do you make of that?
Well, it was just a real awesome setup, and I don't know what else to say. It ran real good all night. A little tricky to start with on those first couple laps, but it just awesome setup put in there, and don't know what else to say on that.
This is granted. I guess I have to clarify a couple things. First, is this your first Outlaw Sim Series start? Second, is Wooer the correct pronunciation?
I've ran some exhibition races, but yeah, this is the first actual point race, and it's actually We Were.
Well, I'll put some respect on that. Joe Wooer, all right? Our race winner here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. But Joe, 75 laps led. Did you, I guess before you even registered for the session, before you even got to practice, did you anticipate having this kind of pace right off the bat, maybe from those exhibition races? Or what was, I guess, coming through your mind when you were getting ready to sign up for Auto Club?
Well, I knew the setup was solid. Just didn't know how it was going to run against everybody else. And like I said, once we got going, it just took off, and I could drive it high, I could drive it low. I mean, it seemed to drive real good, but I anticipated it running good, but didn't figure it'd be quite that good.
It certainly was. The strategy today, Joe, you were one of the drivers who were able to pit later to max service early on in that first stint. You powered right on by, and then you kind of drove away after that first round of pit stop. The second run, there was a significant advantage to you, 8 laps fresher tires than you had over Greg Holt. Talk about, I guess, the decision to go that much longer, and did you think that how much time you had left there at the end was going to be enough to get to and past the 3 truck?
Well, I ran it. I was going to go down to about the 25 to go was my strategy anyways for the end there, because after 25 is kind of where it really starts to fade. But I think Greg got a little bit of damage there as well. So, I didn't know that. But, yeah, like I said, it just a lot of horsepower there.
Absolutely, Joe. Again, first Outlaw Sim Series start, 75 of 97 laps led and a caution-free race. I guess I have to ask, what do you make of the series?
Yeah, I'm hoping to make a lot more. Work schedule kind of throws everything off, and Central Time I don't get home till usually 6 o'clock or after, and well, that's when the practice opens up. It's kind of rushing to get in here, by 7 my time to make the race, but I'm hoping to maybe come home sick a couple days. Hope the boss ain't listening.
Absolutely, because it would be stellar to have you out on the track more, especially if you're going to bring this kind of heat everywhere you go. And as a fellow person in the Central Time Zone, I appreciate some recognition there as well. But Joe, once again, congratulations on the dominating performance tonight here at the Auto Club Speedway. What do you make of your chances at a short track next week at Phoenix?
We'll probably struggle a little bit at Phoenix, but I don't know. Get enough practice in, and we'll see. But 1.5 miles and up usually my strong point. But we'll mess around with Phoenix.
Absolutely, Joe. Once again, congratulations. We'll give you the floor now to shout out whoever you got to shout out. Thank you, whoever you got to thank for the dominant performance and victory here tonight at Auto Club.
Yeah, I don't know if there really is anybody. thanks to AccuForce and if I can even pronounce it right, the Husenvelt pedals, they made a world of difference.
Absolutely. Equipment will do wonders in the world of sim racing. Once again, Joe, congratulations on the victory. A very dominant performance at that. Best luck to you on your next Outlaws Sim Series venture.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Looking forward to seeing you guys.
Absolutely. And that is race winner and driver of the number 28, Joe Weaver. Now we got the little respect on his name, especially with the 75 laps led today. Very dominant performance today from Joe Weaver. Devin, you'll be standing by for a second place in last season's Auto Club winner and last week's winner, Jeremiah Stutzman.
Yes, we'd like to welcome our second place finisher, Jeremiah Stutzman, to the booth. He is our second place finisher here at Auto Club. Jeremiah, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, bud? It's good to talk to you for 2 weeks in a row. I know you probably would have liked to got another win here like you did last season, but can you talk us through about what your strategy was for this night? You kind of came out of nowhere at the end there.
That's about usually how it goes. I didn't start off real good. Qualified in the middle of the pack, so that made me worried quite a bit, but slowly worked the way up there, and there really wasn't much strategy to it. I mean, I only had one option, was to try to stay on the fresher tires, and that was all.
Yeah, I understand that with tires being at a premium at this racetrack that likes to eat them the way it does. Do you think you had anything for Joe Weaver at the end there, or was it just try to get second place from Greg Holt and ride for the end, or what were you thinking there at the end?
I didn't think I would even see him, and then after pit stops, I came out right in front of him, right beside him. And we raced for a couple of laps, but I couldn't do nothing with that.
I understand. Yeah, he was kind of on rails tonight, but again, it's so nice to see you 2 weeks in a row here up front. 2 back-to-back great performances, regardless of how the qualifying went for you. But yeah, we want to give you the floor now. Thank whoever you got to thank, and congratulations again on the second place finish.
Thank you, and just thank every one of y'all up there doing your job. Adam for putting on the league and making it fun every week.
Well, we appreciate it, Jeremiah. Congratulations again on the second place finish. We look to see this form continue for that 71 truck as we go to Phoenix. Do you have any insight about Phoenix before we get there next week?
No. I don't know the track very well. I don't expect much. I didn't expect much here. But we work on it all week, run the laps, and see what we come up with at the end of it.
That sounds good. Again, congratulations. And look to see you work on that truck and get it back to the front here at Phoenix next week. Sorry. Thanks again.
And that was driver of the number 71, Jeremiah Stutzman. We're going to bring in our somehow, someway third place finisher, Greg Holt. Greg, oh man, another week. You're there at the end, and now this week you weren't the dominant truck, but leading there at the end, I mean, he had 8 lap pressure tires. Was there anything different he could have done to maybe secure victory tonight, or was just we were that far?
No. I ended up after the first pit stop. I had gotten like 20 seconds of damage on the right front fender, and that was then I had come, driven through the field and got to be with just under a second with him. Was kind of riding there, waiting for the pit stops to get done. Then we came up, we got that 20 seconds, and there was nothing I was going to do with him. Only chance I had was by trying to short pit and gap everybody, and even that wasn't enough, you know what I mean? Otherwise, I probably would have finished 10 seconds back instead of 4 if I hadn't a short pit.
Fair enough. The dogfight there at the end. I mean, Brad Bothwell tried as he might to steal this podium away from you. How do you feel about that? Holding off clearly a fast truck with 3 poles in a row in that 31 truck.
It was all right. It was fun. It made it interesting instead of just kind of riding there. I mean, I knew I was a sitting duck. I was just hoping everybody was going to race the leader hard, or the woo her real hard coming up through there, and maybe he'd have to use some of his stuff up before he got to me. But I mean, I knew it was taking an extra like 7-8% off the right fronts than what it should have been. So yeah, we knew we were kind of done. I was surprised we were even hanging around up there after that. But we'll take it. Top 3, we'll take it.
Absolutely. A podium is always great in a sense like this. And now Stutzman passed you there, but you had about a 5-point advantage coming into today, and where all the stages work out, you should still have a pretty decent point lead. Joseph Causey fell off a little bit, though. But you should still be there at the top of the point standings, sure, heading into Phoenix. How do you feel about starting to establish yourself at the top of the points now 4 weeks through several different track types and then heading to a short track next week?
I'll let you know when we complete one of the W's here. We won Daytona, and now we can't win another one. We'll have to see what happens. I feel good about Phoenix. It's just a shorter track. I mean, I like all the tracks, but shorter tracks are more my thing. So we'll see what we can come up with.
I think that is a fair evaluation. Last season, of your 7 wins, 5 of them and 5 in a row were short tracks. So I'd imagine you are pretty stoked about heading to a short track for the first time this season, Greg. Yeah, once again, congratulations on the podium. Give you a chance here to shout out whoever you're going to shout out. Thank you, whoever you're going to thank for your podium and laps led you ran today.
I'd like to thank Adam for putting on Outlaw Sim Racing. I'd like to thank you and your compadre for doing the broadcast. You guys do a wonderful job. I'd like to go back and watch it. And thank everybody that's been working on the sets. Mr. Causey, Miz, Christian, Schroeder, Garrett when he's around. And we'll see what we can do next week. Hopefully we come with a better piece. I thought we were going to be all right this week. But yeah, it is what it is. Can't win if you're wrecked, right?
Fair enough. I believe right here, actually, trying to read this. A 30-point. I don't know if this is really tabulated all. That's a huge jump if you do have a 30-point advantage at Phoenix. If you do, congratulations on that, and best luck to you next week at Phoenix.
All right, thank you.
And that was our 3rd place finisher, Greg Holt, driver of the number 3 Performance Sim Sport truck there. And Devin, a wild turn of events once again. Again, Performance Sim Sport wasn't the dominant set of trucks tonight, but again, leading at the end. Once again, not the team on the top step of the podium. What do you make of this kind of luck that Performance Sim Sport has had recently, and the runs that they've had throughout the first 4 races? I know they won Daytona, but then.
I mean, yeah, they're always up at the front. They're always in contention to win the race. It's just not been in the cards for them so far, unfortunately. And it seems like another player has kind of come into play and maybe trying to disrupt that Performance Sim Sports dominance that we've seen as far as leading laps and dominating the race. Even if that domination hasn't turned out in wins, I mean, they can still claim that they are pretty much the dominant team at the moment. But yeah, definitely another player, and we were here coming and trying to spoil their party a little bit. But we'll see what happens next week at Phoenix. I'm really excited to see what happens when we do go to a short track. I know we went to Rockingham, but that's kind of more closer to the 1.5 mile side. Phoenix is where we're really going to get to see what these short track racers can do. The guys who like racing that short track racing. And it's going to be very interesting, especially if there is, like you said, a 30-point lead for Greg Holt.
Very intriguing indeed. Again, I want to shout out the drivers, the caliber of drivers we have in the Outlaw Sim Series. One of the many selling points I had to bring this series to PitStop TV was the cleanliness of these fields and these drivers. Last season, in a full-length Xfinity Series races, full season of 36 races, they averaged this field. Granted, a lot of these drivers are new, but the field averaged 2.91 cautions a race last season. Tonight, no cautions and double-digit lead changes. Clean, mean, and green tonight here at the Auto Club Speedway. Double-digit lead changes. Devin, the show, I don't think we could have asked for anything better, but let's see how everybody came to the checkered. We, of course, top 3. And of course, Joe Weaver, tonight's dominant driver, 75 laps led tonight, and the W for Joe Weaver. Jeremiah Stutzman, a lot of momentum on his side. The win at Homestead, second place tonight. Won at this track last season. Heading into Phoenix, though, a little bit of a question mark for the 71. We'll see what happens there. P3 for Truck 3. Greg Holt will come home in the third position after 9 laps led. And pole sitter Brad Bothwell will just miss out on a podium. 3 poles this season, but a top 5 finish for that 31 truck will bode well. And 5th place for Christian Converse after leading laps early. Canadian Max Service will return to the field and return to racing this week. Got some laps led early in that number 81 truck. Number 81 Chevrolet Swift Dorado. He'll want me to say anyway. But it's good to see Max Service back on the track again. And leading laps at that. We'll see what he can do next week at Phoenix, where, if you recall last season, one of Max's 2 wins last season was at Legacy Phoenix. We're in a different track surface, same facility. It'll be something there. Theron Elam will rally his way to a 7th place finish. Very impressive run for the 98 of Theron Elam Jr. Joshua Fox, another impressive run for a driver tonight in that number 66 truck. He'll come home in 8th. Andrew Pratt there in 9th. And Devin Smith will come home in the top 10.
And then we move on to 11th, Joshua Ballet, who just missed out on the top 10 by being passed by Devin Smith. Tyler Markle's going to come home in 12th in the 42 machine. A decent run from him. We've seen him kind of had where he's been having good runs and getting wrecked out and just having bad luck, but just an overall decent finish. Not too bad, not too good for him. I know he'd like to be in the top 10, but overall decent finish for him this week. Brandon Richardson in the 29 is going to come home in 13th. Seth Fitzpatrick will come home in the 14th position. James Gilliard is going to come home 15th. Joseph Causey, who had some trouble on pit road, is going to have to recover to 16th. Kyle Lingerfeld will come home in 17th. And then Doug Solms, who he's making some improvements, Emerson. He's going to come home in 18th. Matthew Setzer 19th. And Eric Peck will come home in 20th.
Right on, then we'll find our way on to the next page of results, and we'll find the 96 of Matt Rogers coming home today in 21st. I also see the checkered flag tonight, as opposed to last week, suffering a hard incident at Homestead. Come home 21st tonight, 1 lap down. Kevin Thompson, the last driver, 1 lap down there in 22nd, my apologies. Jeremy C. Poole, a driver who was penalized for pit lane violations. He'll come home 3rd. Randall Barnett had some mistakes on the pit lane as well. He'll be 24th. Josh McClune, 25th place finish for the 18 truck. Daniel Park, up into the mid-20s there for Daniel in the 6 truck. Looking to see if he can improve a little bit more. But he'll come home 3 laps down today. Jesse Adams, the last running truck at that, a destroyed number 55. 7 laps down for Jesse Adams. 28th will be the 24, Jason Miz, who will make an early exit. Andrew Schroeder as well. In 29th, Seth Berger will fall 50 laps down when the tally is all set and done after suffering a big hit on the front straightaway at the end of the pit continuator there here at Auto Club, actually in the background of that graphic, Seth Berger. And then at the very back here, Julio Villalobos, Sean Mickey, Cody Vreeland. Mickey upside down. He'll be 87 laps down. Vreeland blowing an engine 89 laps down. Wild and wacky back here, Devin, but still no yellows.
Yeah, the drivers kept it clean for the most part. They had troubles. They were off the racing surface. We did see Seth Berger kind of, when he had his incident, spin back towards the racing surface, but was able to get it towed quickly enough that the admins felt the caution was not warranted. So unfortunate again for most of those guys. I know Cody Vreeling more than likely running a qualifying setup and just the engine blowing on him. Unfortunate there. Seth Berger with his accident, and then Mickey, I believe it was, who possibly had an equipment issue. The truck just turning dead left on him, headed straight for the inside wall and flipping through the backfield grassy area right before turn 3. So just some unfortunate luck. I know we'll see some of those drivers be able to recover. I know Vreeland, Mickey, and Seth Berger are all very fast, and they'll definitely try to recover as we go to Phoenix.
Absolutely. Well, as we head to Phoenix, that is a short track. I have to mention that the Cars Esport Tour, a notable late model short track series, is back. Entries are open to all Cars Tour competitors as well as other select short track stars and iRacers. Again, our very own Joshua Balliet here from the Outlaws Sim Series will be competing in the Cars Esport Tour. Those races will be held on Wednesdays. The practice sessions opening at 6 p.m. Eastern. The broadcast going live for the Cars Esport Tour also on Wednesdays. We'll be pulling double duty once again here on PitStop TV through all 6 Cars Esport Tour events. Those broadcasts will be going live at 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you check out www.pitstoptv.com/Cars Esport Tour for more info. And I cannot wait to see how Joshua Balliet does in that series. We know he's really fast on these short tracks, and he loves his iRacing official races at the short tracks and going against some of the notable short track stars here on iRacing. But to put him up against some short track heavyweights will be very interesting. And we'll just get right to the upcoming broadcast. Of course, the Cars Esport Tour season opener at North Wilkesboro. Late models at North Wilkesboro, 7 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday evening. But tomorrow night, we have the North American Racing League in their second race of the season at Michelin Raceway Road, Atlanta. A phenomenal facility, one of the amazing American road racing facilities. Everybody from around the world loves running at Road Atlanta, and we're going to be taking GT3 cars there tomorrow night, 9:15 p.m. Eastern, for the second race of the season. Myself and João Paulo Costa will be on the call tomorrow night at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta out in Brazelton, Georgia. And next Wednesday night, the Outlaws Sim Series will have their 5th race of the season at the Phoenix Raceway, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You won't want to miss it. Double duty Super Wednesday for PitStop TV coming up then. And speaking about Super Wednesday, tonight was a Super Wednesday with a 7-man 2-show day tonight here at PitStop TV. And also Andrew Cardinale, I should also say, is currently at Lanier working on his own short track stuff, pretty much directing an NBC Sports Gold Track Pass Gold broadcast out there. Andrew Cardinale doing his own work, but us 7 holding down the fort here for PitStop TV with Trey Shuttlesworth at the helm for the IORL Kentucky broadcasts. We had Eric Brennan and João Paulo Costa on the call over there, and Vincent Cortez over there on their social media coverage. And here on the Outlaw Sim Series, we had Devin Zimmerman alongside myself and Jacob Zala running our social media coverage. And our socials, facebook.com/PitStopTV. Instagram at PitStop. I'm sorry. Our Instagram is at Pit_Stop_TV. Our Twitter is at PitStopTV_. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Pit_Stop_TV. And our YouTube, youtube.com/Pit_Stop/C/Pit_TV. Those are our social platforms. You should catch all of our social media updates. Like earlier today, we had last week's Pratt Tile and Stone Pole Award lap on the channel about 90 minutes before we went, on the Facebook, Twitter, and the Instagram pages 90 minutes before we went live tonight. And there's going to be other Outlaws goodies throughout the week, along with other series here at PitStop TV. Overtaking a week, past a week out there on the social media platforms. Paint Scheme of the Week. Again, you're a driver in one of these series. Paint Scheme of the Week. You're eligible for Paint Scheme of the Week every week. Bring some good ones to the track. We'll be sure to keep an eye out for some of the amazing paint schemes here at PitStop TV across all of our here at PitStop. But I gotta, of course, shout out the partners who make these things happen, make things happen for us. And of course, Tucson Sound Art, your picture, your music. Use promo code PitStop TV at checkout. 10% off of your wall-mounted sound art device today. PitStop TV broadcasts are also brought to you by Race Pace Setups. There's the Discord link there at the bottom of your screen. But pick up pace with Race Pace, a community-driven setup shop and driver development program. PitStop TV broadcasts are also presented by Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine. You can visit them at permanentmakeup.inmaine.com. Whiplash Media, the official graphic and camera provider of PitStop TV. And of course, check out our website at www.pitstoptv.com/Whiplash. And of course, BAM Racing Videos by a race fan for the racing community. Evan, now final thoughts leaving the Auto Club Speedway and heading in.
Yeah, final thoughts, Emerson. We're gonna watch out for for Weaver when he comes in, if he keeps racing, to be up front and put some pressure on the Burnt Racing team and also on the Performance Sim Sports team. Not sure if they were ready for it, but he is announced his coming, if you will, for this Outlaw Sim series, and I'm looking forward to those battles between himself and Greg Holt, and also the rest of Performance Sim Sports and Burnt Rubber Racing with Seth Berger. Coming forward, I'm sure that, like I said before, Seth Berger is not happy with the result tonight. I look for him to rebound nicely when they go to Phoenix.
Absolutely. And, well, that'll do it from SoCal. Happy to have had you all here and tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And for all at PitStop TV, Devin Zimmerman, Jacob Zala, and myself, I want you all to have a very, very safe night. Stay cool, stay safe. Thank you for tuning in. We will see.
Have you found yourself trying to hide your joy because you're unhappy with your teeth? Your smile is the first feature noticed in an interview, on a date, or in family photos. We want you to be able to shine bright as your best self, and our teeth whitening system is the perfect step toward restoring your confidence.